What is going on, everyone? I am Saburai, and today I'm going to be doing something that I do not do on this channel very much, and that is review a game. I don't do this much. I think the only time I've ever reviewed a game on this channel is Minigore 2, which was not a good review. And today I'm going to be reviewing Infinity Blade 3, because obviously that's the latest game in the Infinity Blade franchise. And I'm going to be giving it a score on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm going to be talking about a couple things. I mean, it's not going to be a very orthodox review, as you can probably see from the title. But I'm going to try to give it my honest opinion, my complete honest opinion. No sugarcoating, no anything. Just my complete and honest opinion and score and rating of Infinity Blade 3. Before I begin, I do prefer the other two games to Infinity Blade 3. I like the other two ones better. That's not to say I don't like Infinity Blade 3. I do like the game, but I just think that the other ones were a little bit better. So, yeah, let's get into it. So Infinity Blade 3 is obviously the third in a trilogy, and when you get to the third game in a trilogy, it becomes hard to like surprise people who play your game and do something new. And I think that Infinity Blade 3 succeeded at doing something new, but I don't think the thing they did new was everyone's favorite. There's a lot of things different with the third game. Now, the main thing, the combat, is still intact and still is great. The combat in this game is amazing, as it has been all throughout the series. The game feels fluid. There's different combat styles. The combat is amazing. That being the centerpiece of the game, it really does help the game to be a good game. Now, everything outside of the game is not as good. While the combat is flawless, there's a bunch of the other factors are not as good and can sometimes get in the way of the basic core of the game, that being the combat. A couple of these things are the hideout. The hideout is a cool concept, but I don't really like how it's executed. I mean, I like it. I can't decide if I like it or not. I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not great either. I mean, I like that we can forge gems and everything, but I liked in Infinity Blade 2 you could just forge gems whenever. I get they're trying to make it a little more realistic, but, I mean, it doesn't really work out. Forging weapons is a pain in the butt, to be honest. I really don't like forging weapons. I like going to the next New Game Plus and remastering all my items. And I just wish that we had been able to do that instead of remaster weapons. Now, to be fair, there's the possibility of New Game Plus being added back in future updates, but I'm reviewing this game on the version that it's on now, which is 1.1.1, I believe. Whatever the latest version is on the date of, let's see when this is going to be uploaded, the 23rd of November. So, it's 1.1.1. I'm reviewing this game on 1.1.1, so if anything's added in future updates, it doesn't matter, because this is what I'm reviewing the game on. And, yeah, I don't really like weapon forging. Gem forging is still the same, but I mean, I wish you could do it anywhere. Potions are cool. I do like the potions. I like that you can get gems out of the potions, and I think potions are a cool thing. I like that Chair added that. The merchant, I get why they made it that way, so you could only sell items to the merchant, which was to prevent some glitches and exploits that were in the second game. But, I mean, I like the sales idea, but it's just a little, I don't know, tedious, I guess. I don't know. So, I like the potions. Gem forging is the same. Gem forging's cool. I just wish you could do it anywhere. Weapon forging I don't like it. I do not like it. I mean, I guess it's good that it's there, or else we can be able to level up more at all. But I'd prefer if New Game Plus is in the game. And the merchant. The merchant is not. It's not bad, but I mean, and I understand why they did it. But I liked the store system in Infinity Blade 2, where it wasn't so worried about realisticness. I don't even know if that's a word, but and so yeah, the hideout is okay. It's not bad, but it's not great. And so that's that. And now we're gonna get on to the thing that everybody hates in this game. I'm gonna give you one guess. Battle chips. Yes. Everyone hates battle chips. And I think the obvious reason they went for battle chips was to make more money. I mean, why else would they go for that? So I mean, battle chips are everyone's least favorite part of the game, I'm pretty sure, and they kind of permeate, I guess, everything else in the game. I mean, the hideout heavily relies on battle chips. To forging your weapons, to forging your gems, making your potions, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. And battle chips are obviously not that easy to get. There's glitches and exploits, but I'm not sure. I don't think Chair planned for those. I mean, I don't think anybody plans for glitches and exploits. So taking the game at face value with no glitches or exploits, battle chips are bad. I mean, they are obviously there to make money, because they're a very limited supply. They're not that easy to get. I mean, Trials are making it a little better and adding more goals to get battle chips in the options, or in the little goals section in the options menu, is good as well. I like they did that. But still, they're in limited supply, and it's obviously a way to make money. Now, that being said, they do not ruin the game. Battle chips are bad, but like I said, the game still focuses on its combat. And since the combat is so good, the game is still, it saves the game a little bit. So the two main things that people don't like are the hideout and the battle chips. Now, something people haven't talked about as much, but that I really don't like, is the linear aspect of the game, and that was kind of fixed in the update 1.1, where you could go back and play missions, and you didn't have to just go through the game over and over again. But I still don't like the linear aspect. I think that once we beat the game, we should be able to go play any mission whenever we want with the character that we want, and we shouldn't have to, like, sit at the worker's castle just to play every mission again. I get that they want to get the story continuation right, but I mean, really, I don't think anyone really enjoys the linear aspect. I mean, I know it's not as complained about, but this is one of my biggest problems with the game, is the linear aspect. I would like to be able to play any mission after I beat the game once. I mean, it's fine to keep it that way for one time, but after I beat the game, any mission, whenever I want, with the character that I want. Because I hate playing as Issa. And I mean, I know most people that I've talked to don't like playing as Issa either, and it's fine if you like playing as Issa, but I'm sure if you like playing as Issa, you want to play as her more than you want to play as Cyrus, and I think they should give us that choice. Play as Issa or Cyrus in whatever mission you want. I want to play through the whole game with Cyrus. Maybe you want to play through the whole game with Issa. Just give us that choice. That's what I would like to see. And I know that's not in the game right now, so that's a problem for me. But I mean, overall, the game is just not as good as the previous two games, and that's kind of disappointing. But I mean, like I said, it's kind of hard to go bigger when you're at the third game in a trilogy. And before I start talking about new stuff they added that I do like, I want to finish off with the last thing that I don't like, and that's the story. The story for Infinity Blade 3 it's very, I don't know. I really liked the story in the first game. That was my favorite one. Story in the second game was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was pretty good. And the story in the third game is just, I don't know. I really liked the book, Awakening. Or not Awakening, Redemption, sorry. Got him confused. I really liked the book Redemption, which was the bridge between 2 and 3. That book was amazing. I really liked the ending. Really cool book. But the way 3 told that story and finished that story just wasn't very good to me. It felt rushed. It didn't feel like there was a big build-up. It just kind of didn't feel good. I mean, the ending was cool. Cyrus working the worker's memory, wiping the worker's memory, working. It's late. I liked the ending, but other than that, the story felt rushed. It wasn't. It just didn't. I don't know. It felt like they were trying to cram in too many stereotypes almost. Like I was talking to Grant now, and he was talking about Jensen, like the big hulking forge guy. He's like, that's the stereotype for a guy, like a forging guy in a game. And I was like, that's completely right. That's the stereotype for that kind of thing. The gem cutter, what is he? Like, I don't get it. He's like an old pervert. I mean, why? I don't understand. The merchant is weird. I mean, and the coolest guy is Eves. Eves is hilarious. I love Eves. And Tell's cool. Cyrus and Issa are both okay. Cyrus is cool, although I liked the Alsar side of him better. But I mean, none of them have any real character development. The hideout guys forget about their character development. Zero character development. Cyrus has a little bit. Issa has even less, but overall, do not like the new characters. Eves is hilarious. The rest of them are just weird. The weirdest and most hated by me being the gem cutter. I hate him so much. Yeah. But now that I am done talking about all the bad stuff, I think I might come out with something else. But I'm going to start talking about the stuff that they added that I do like. One of the really cool things I like that they added was the gems. I really think they did a good job with the gems, and I really like the attack charge gems, for example. Those are a cool idea. I like what they did with those, and I like them. And I also really like what they did with the weapon classes. The weapon classes are very, very cool. They improved them, and having Issa, even though I don't like playing as her, does add more variety. And even though weapon classes are similar, there's a couple differences in each of her weapon classes that makes them unique. And even though Duel was degraded a little bit in this game, Duel is still my favorite class, and Heavy has been seriously upgraded in this game, and Light has been seriously upgraded as well. It feels like it did in Infinity Blade 1, and it felt amazing in Infinity Blade 1, so that's awesome. So yeah, I like the gems, I like the weapon classes, and I mean, even though I don't like the linear aspect, I have to admit that they did add a lot of new environments. I mean, that's just a fact. And having a lot of new environments does add more variety to the game, and I like that. I mean, even though I don't like how it's all packed into this linear play style, I do like that it's a lot of new environments. And the linear playstyle has been sort of fixed with the new update, but still, I mean, it's still there, and I would like to see it completely done away with. But yeah, so if you are keeping track, I've talked a lot more about the negative aspects of this game than the positive aspects. And that's because one of the biggest positive aspects, or the biggest positive aspect, is a returning factor from the first two games, and that is the combat. The combat in this game is simply amazing. I know I said that earlier, but the combat is just the best part of this game. And since that the combat is the core of the game, it really saves the game. And without the combat, I wouldn't like this game. But since the combat's amazing, this game is still good. But the problem is, a lot of the other things that they added get in the way of the combat, and that kind of takes away from the whole experience. So that's all I'm going to ramble on for now, and I'm going to give Infinity Blade 3, let's see, I'm going to give Infinity Blade 3, I'm rating this on a scale of 1 to 10. The first two games, let's see, let's give Infinity Blade 2 would get a 9, Infinity Blade 1 would get an 8.5, and Infinity Blade 3, we're going to give it, let's see, let's go with a 7. Yeah, we're going to give it a 7. And like I said, I talked a lot more about negative, but that's because the biggest positive is the combat. I still like the game. I still think it's a good game, but I don't like a lot of the stuff they added, and it takes away from the core experience, which is why this game didn't get as good of a score and wasn't as good as the first two games, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you for watching this very long rant, or not rant, this wasn't a rant, what am I talking about? It's late. My very long, unorthodox review of Infinity Blade 3. That's my score, 7 out of 10. the second one gets a 9. The first one gets an 8.5. The third one gets a 7. So yeah, pretty big degrade from the first 2 games, but still a good game. That's my big stressing point. It's not as good as the first 2, but it is still a good game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the review, please leave a like or a comment and subscribe for more awesome Infinity Blade 3 content and just iOS content in general. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Saburai, and I am out.